Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, he was pickleball before pickleball was cool. He's been playing it since the 80s. Now he's the owner of Pickleball Kingdom North Texas. You'll meet him and hear his amazing journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I got to confess, I was really kind of late to the game. The first time I heard about pickleball was a few years ago when our country club in Plano started pickleball lessons and pickleball courts. And I kept thinking, what is this? It looks like tennis, but it's not. A guy who was pickleball before pickleball is cool is in the studio right now, Dan Jenkins. He's the owner of Pickleball Kingdom North Texas. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, I'm going to get into your background in a second. But man, you caught a wave. I can't think of a sport more popular than pickleball right now in terms of growth.
It's the fastest growing sport in America and has been for a number of years.
What do you think it is? What is it? Is it easier to play than tennis?
It's an easy game to learn and a hard game to master.
Okay.
And no matter what your physical ability is, you can have that winning shot that gives you a little bit of adrenaline rush. And then it's a smaller court and it builds a lot of community. And so it's an interactive game. We're so plugged into our phones these days that this allows us to have a social experience that's better than just going to the gym or going to the bar.
Okay, give us a little background on Pickleball Kingdom. When did it start?
Pickleball Kingdom, the national company, the franchisor based in Chandler, Arizona, they started in about 4 years ago. And they've had a successful club in Chandler, and then they realized how successful it would be as a franchise model. So I heard about them and signed up to be the first franchisee of Pickleball Kingdom. And we're here in Dallas. And since then, that was back in 23, since then they've sold about 300 rights to 300 locations across the country.
Unbelievable. Okay, more from Dan in a minute. We found a great video on YouTube. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
Hey there, my name is Dan Jenkins, AKA Papa Pickle, and I'm the Chief Visionary Officer for Pickleball Kingdom North Texas. I've had a passion for the sport for a long, long time. I started playing pickleball as a kid in the Northwest back in the 80s as a camper and then as a camp counselor during the summers. In 1999, I was crowned the camp's pickleball men's champion. During college, I was a shoe salesman for Nordstrom and had a lot of repeat clients. One of my best and favorite clients would ask me what I wanted to do after college, and I would tell her I wanted to be in the commercial real estate business. After that, my journey began. I got my real estate license and started looking for opportunities to create value, which I believe today is still my #1 strength. A few years back, my wife and I moved to Texas after a visit with some family and friends. We knew that this was a wonderful place full of opportunities, and we fell in love with Texas, the culture, and the community. As a real estate developer, I knew there was a real need for all communities to have indoor pickleball facilities where beginners could learn and advanced players could train without any of the outdoor elements stopping their success. When I found Pickleball Kingdom and realized that their philosophy aligned with mine, we knew this was the right partnership. My 30 years in real estate and 30 years of playing the sport, mixed with their core beliefs and operating systems, were a perfect match. We want our members to know that everyone has a place at the Kingdom. I'm Dan Jenkins. Welcome to the Kingdom.
And it's such a brilliant idea because when I think of pickleball, I think of outdoors. Are there other companies that do indoor pickleball?
Yeah, we have a few competitors, but of course we think we're the best.
Absolutely.
In terms of programming, experience, and community.
And you say you grew up 10 miles from the birthplace of pickleball?
That's correct. It was created by a family on Bainbridge Island up in the Northwest, and I worked at a summer camp just south, about 10 miles south of where it was created. And one day at camp, they started creating courts, and we started playing.
Wow.
Back in 1985.
All right, I'm going to ask a dumb question. Is this a sport that you think will come to ESPN, and will there be championships? And will we be following it like we follow tennis?
There's already a huge community doing that. And
Really?
there is a dedicated pickleball channel now that exists. And it's on 24 hours a day. It was the tennis channel, and the founders or the creators of the tennis channels, they're the ones who created the pickleball channel.
Wow.
And then in DFW, the PPA, the Professional Pickleball Association, is headquartered in DFW.
Wow.
As well as the MLP, which is the Major League Pickleball Players League. They actually have teams that have ownership of the teams, and they compete with other teams, other professional teams. So both those professional organizations are located and headquartered in DFW.
And do they have like a Wimbledon of pickleball, or do you see that coming?
Yes, yes, they do. They have a national circuit that the PPA hosts, and we have it at Brookhaven here in Dallas.
Oh, cool.
Had it here the last 2 years, and it's packed, huge experience, big experience, and that's going to continue to grow.
Wow. I was so impressed as I was preparing for the show. Dan and his team puts up a lot of video content. We string together a few. Let's just go ahead and put this up on the screen. And I want you to describe what we're looking at. Obviously, the ribbon cutting.
That's the grand opening ribbon cutting for our Plano location. That's me being silly. But that's our first day in Plano. That's my daughter.
Oh, cool.
That's our balcony looking down over the crowd.
It's a beautiful facility.
Thank you. And then our next club is opened on the tollway near the Galleria Mall, just north of the Galleria Mall. Nice. And we're having the grand opening this weekend, on the 11th. Yes. Yeah, that'll be our second location.
Wow. Well, and obviously, at the time we're doing this taping, we're supposed to have a snowmageddon on Thursday and Friday, so hopefully you don't get snowed out. But it's indoors.
But it's also the perfect time to play indoor pickleball.
Sure.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the wonderful stories that you've witnessed. I mean, people will come in an amateur and just learn from others. There's kind of almost a mentorship by playing around other people who have more experience.
We like to say that we use pickleball to help change people's lives. And the stories are almost countless. There's this one story that a coach told me one time about an older guy who was a vet, and his wife died, and he had given up hope on life. This is an actual true story. And his doctor says, you've got to get off the couch, you've got to stop drinking, you got to do something. So he went and just went for a walk, and he heard the pop, pop, pop of the pickleball, and he stopped and had the courage to stop and talk to the people in the group. They welcomed him in, and he started to play. And then he ended up having a community. He lost 60 pounds.
Wow.
And it changed his life. That story is very common, more common than you know. We actually going to put together what they call a blue couch. We haven't produced it yet, but we're going to have a blue couch, and people are going to come in and give their testimonies. Wow. Just like Chick-fil-A has the red couch,
yeah.
We're doing the blue couch for Pickleball Kingdom.
I love this. My sense is that this is a ministry for you.
It's kind of funny. We think that pickleball, life is better with pickleball, but it helps you physically, socially, and even spiritually.
Wow. Where do you see this all headed in the next 2 years? You just opened up a second location. Do you see a third and a fourth?
Yes, sir. So, the sky's the limit, but we also don't want to get too far over our skis. We have to be rational. But our third location is going to be in South Keller, North Fort Worth area. And then our fourth location, we're pursuing a facility from the ground up down in Grand Prairie. So those are the four that are on the radar, and then we're pursuing an opportunity in the Frisco area too.
Well, congratulations.
That'll feel pretty good, and as a good base to see where we go from there in DFW.
Wow. Well, I'm so impressed with you, Dan. In the last minute or so, maybe a call to action if somebody's kind of kicking the tire on pickleball. They're welcome to come take a tour anytime.
Come by anytime. One of the great things we have, you can go online and actually register for Pickleball 101 class, where you can come in, we'll teach you the game for free, just wear some tennis shoes.
We'll get you comfortable with the paddle. We'll get you comfortable with the game, and you can sign up and become a member and join the community in our new beginner social, which has exploded in Plano. And then if you're not quite ready, you can sign up for a 201 class or a 301 class. But you can find us at pickleballkingdom.com and look for and search for the North Dallas locations of Plano and North Dallas.
Outstanding. You've been an amazing guest. We'll have to have you back again soon.
They'd love to come back.
You bet. We're going to end with the website, which again is pickleballkingdom.com, and you can navigate to the North Texas page. Dan Jenkins, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.